Hi there, this is going to be the first of a few tutorials in which we're using Tinkercad to produce our sweet dispenser. So what we need to do is we're going to do create new design here. And this takes us into our Tinkercad environment. We've got our work plane here, which is kind of the floor here. We've got a variety of shapes we can add here. We can navigate by holding down the right click button on your mouse if you're using one there. And you can also click and drag this little cube up here, but we can also zoom out, zoom in, go to what we call isometric, switch to perspective or orthographic, sorry, and which we can cover later. And we've got the home view as well, the default view. So to get started, we're going to grab the box here on the left. So this is kind of adding, we're going to basically add shapes here. And we can drag these white corners out to adjust the size of it here. As you drag, you can see the numbers pop up. And what you can do actually is you can click on that number and you can type in, well, that 90 there. I'm going to type in that one 80. So you can either drag or you can type it in to get 90 by 80. We've got this white one here, that adjusts the height of the block. And we've got this black arrow here and that moves it up and down. Okay, so we're just going to actually undo that there. A height, if we click on that there, you see is 20. And that's great, that's exactly what we want. Our block is made of wood, so what we're going to do is go into solid and we can change the colour of that, and we're going to go for this kind of light brown to represent the kind of pine we'll be using in the workshop. So that's our kind of base stand. Next up we have the two sides of the base. So again we're going to go for the box tool here. And we're going to drag that out and we'll just position that there. Again, we want to change the dimensions of that there. So this here is going to be 80 long by 25 wide. And it's going to stay at 20 tall. What we're now going to do is we're going to then move this up. So we can drag this up and you see it's coming off the floor there, off the surface. So we can change that to 20. You can just drag it to 20. I find it easy, I like typing it in, and that changes to 20 there. And then we can kind of drag that over our block. Now, it can be quite hard to line things up if you're using a mouse there, so if you're using a trackpad. So I've lined it up there, but what you can do if you have that off is we can use what we call the align tool. So we've got that block selected, you can see the white markers around it. I'm going to hold shift on the keyboard and I'm going to click on the other block, and that's them both selected there. And then I'm going to go up to the menu here and I'm going to click align. What I do is I'm going to click on the main base block and I'm going to click on the left hand side, and you can see it's previewed it, it's going to move it inside there. And I'm going to click on that one there, previewing it again, and it's lined up by those two corners there. Okay. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to click on that block there. I'm going to go up to the left hand corner of the menu up here. I'm going to duplicate here. What that's done, if I click on this here, you'll find it has duplicated the item first. So it's kind of copy and pasted it first. And I'm going to use the hold shift. I'm going to click on the base here. And I'm going to use the align tool again. I'm going to click on the base, I'm going to click on that inside one there, and I'm going to come around here and I'm going to click on that front one there. So that's all lined up. Now, I've just deselected it all, but what I'm going to do is going to select them all, holding shift, so I can click on select all three. I'm going to go up what we call the group tool up here. So that's the group button there, and that means they're now a solid block. And you might need to change the colour again, I'll just change that to light brown. And there we are. So we kind of got our base block there. I'm going to grab the box tool again. And I'm just going to place that there. And again, I'm going to drag that out so it's 90 by 80 there. So we've got our block there. Now we need a hole in the top of this block. So we're going to add that hole before we move this on top of our thing. So we're going to go to the cylinder tool. You notice there's two cylinder tools here. We've got these ones with kind of shaded stripes on it there. That means it's kind of essentially creating a hole. So I'm going to click on that there, I'm going to drag that in. I'm going to resize this here, and I'm going to type in those boxes. I'm going to type 30 on both of them there, because it'll be drills, it'll be circular there. Again, I'm going to hold shift, and I'm going to click on the other block there, and I'm going to go to the line tool again. I'm going to click on the red block, and I'm going to hit the center one there. So it's centered that way there, and also in the center on that one there. That may have appeared at the other side for you, but it doesn't matter as long as it's centered. With those two items still selected, I'm going to press the group button, and you'll see we now have a box with a cylinder in the middle of it there, which is exactly what we're looking for. What we can now do is we're going to move this up. So that needs to go up 40 for our 2 letters. I'm just going to type in there, find it easier. And then we're going to align these up. So again, I'm going to use the align tool there. So holding shift, select the kind of base block, click the align, click on the base, and then I'm going to click, oops, just make sure I get the right one here. Sometimes you have to move around so you can see the right bit. I'll click there, I'm going to come around this way, I'm going to click there, and that's it nicely lined up. So now I'm going to hold shift, I'm going to select those two there, and I'm going to group those. It tends to go to the colour of the last block you created, so I'm just going to change that to a light brown. So that's a kind of base block created there. I'm just going to move that off to one side there. And that's our kind of first tutorial. We've got our block created, we've got a hole where our drawer goes, and a hole where the sweets will fall through on the top there.